the fact that I still get kids that give me the like stick to the music thing is crazy. It's like, bro, I've been saying this shit since I had started a band, you know.
Yeah, someone got cranky at me on Instagram the other day for getting too political. They're like, I thought following you would be all about the music. And I'm like, man, have you listened to any of the artists that I'm interested in? Like,
yeah, and I'm not even like, you know, some heavy political activist. I'm not throwing it in people's faces all the time either, you know. Like, if you don't want to get bludgeoned with that stuff, I understand.
Hey, how you going? My name is Lachlan Watt and music is my life. Welcome back to the podcast. We're at episode number 40 now, which feels kind of significant. The last episode with Greg Puciato also felt pretty significant. It was the first episode of this podcast to really kind of, I guess, feel like it has broken containment. It got picked up by dozens of media outlets and it's racked up far more plays than any episode I've put out there so far, which feels pretty good. So thank you to everyone who's been supporting the pod so far. And if you're one of the many new subscribers that's come here off the back of that, thanks for giving it a shot and welcome to the show. This episode was recorded the day after that podcast with Greg's now former Better Lovers bandmate Will Putney. Will is one of the most sincerely prolific figures in modern heavy music. It's kind of hard to say if he's more known for his work as a producer or as a songwriter, but let's start with the music. I absolutely love all three of Will's bands. Fit for an Autopsy, and of course, Better Lovers. Will is also responsible for producing records from so many of your favorite bands. In addition to all of his own, he has sat in the producer chair for such greats as Body Count, Counterparts, Knocked Loose, The Acacia Strain, Every Time I Die, Straight from the Path, and so many more. And in fact, for the sake of this chat, we focus a little bit more on his history with several iconic Australian bands, having worked the breakout records from North Lane, Viator's Murder, and The Amity Affliction. And I feel like Will's career kind of really kicked off alongside all those bands. And with a resume like that, it's hard to argue against the fact that he has perhaps had more influence than almost anyone on the modern metalcore studio sound. And that's why I sent my band's first record over to him to mix back in 2019. The most recent release with the Putney stamp is the killer new album from metalcore pioneers Poison the Well. So we talk about that a bit in this chat here too. Something else I really admire about Will is how politically outspoken he is, most particularly through Fit for an Autopsy. So that's another big focus of the chat. Another theme of this chat is being extremely busy and learning how to not overload your plate, which is something I felt like I had done on this day, being the promoter of the show, squeezing in a podcast, and playing in the opening band. And watching back on this, I can see how I was clearly a little bit distracted and not 100% in the zone. But still, it was a great chat and I really enjoyed picking Will's brain. Before we get into it though, I just wanted to take a moment to pay my respects to Bo Luders of Harm's Way and the Hard Law podcast. I only ever spent a little bit of time with Bo, like many years ago, but I loved his work a great deal. Hard Law is absolutely one of the best podcasts out there, and I'm absolutely gutted that he won't be around to do it anymore. I'm really feeling for everyone in our community who has been hurting a great deal over the last week. Shit fucking sucks. Rest in peace, Bo. My name is Lachlan Watt, music is my life, and now I'll drop you in on my conversation with Will Putney. It took place in the beer garden at Sooki Lounge in Belgrave, a lovely little suburb near my house about an hour out of Melbourne, where shortly after, Better Lovers ripped a sardine can of a show on the smallest stage they'd ever played. Cheers.
First thoughts on 2026, 1 month in.
2026, 1 month in. Really cold and really hot, and then probably going to be really cold again. Yeah, we were busy last year. This is a cool year for me because it switches back to like regular life, I'll call it, you know? Since the Better Lovers LP, we've been pretty nonstop with the touring, and after tomorrow, we're pretty much done with this cycle for a minute, so get a nice break, if you know, I get to get back into making records, and I think this year's just gonna feel normal for me, which is cool. I'm down.
So you missed making records and just staying at home a little bit?
Yeah, I feel like I like the balance of everything I do, you know, and I definitely feel like I've gotten my fill of being away this year, you know. I'm glad we got all the opportunities we did, and all the countries we played and shit we saw. It was awesome, you know. I don't take it for granted at all, but you know, after fucking months and months of touring, it's like, yeah, I do have like a wife and a dog and like my own bed. I wouldn't mind seeing some of that stuff. So plus, like, there's a lot of records to make that I've been pushing off and, you know, buying time for that. Like, you know, it's time to go to work. So
kind of crazy to have hit like this like intense level of touring like this far in to your career as a musician. It's the kind of grinding that I guess most people get out of the way younger, but you've sort of done it in reverse.
Yeah, I guess. Like I don't think I planned on going back on tour. I think it just like I kind of fell into it again. Honestly, I was like done. I was happy to be done too for a while. And then I had like, even when I got like the itch a little bit, you know, I had End as sort of like a side project thing. And we got to do a lot with End, you know, more than I thought we would. So I was like, okay, I definitely had that itch scratch, you know. And then this thing just like happened. And I think I would attribute it to during COVID, we were so busy recording. Every band was off. Like all I do is work. Everyone's locked in the house.
Downtime.
Everyone's making their records, you know. And then like the world opened up, and then everybody got to go outside. And then, except me, I didn't go. I didn't get to go outside.
To sit at home and finish all the mixing.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what just happened? Everyone's having fun again, you know. And I'm just at my house, and I was like, oh, maybe I do want to get out of here from time to time, you know. So I think it made me a little more antsy to see the world a little bit, you know. Plus, like, you get older and like inherently, it's hard to like stay and be current and in touch all the time if you're just kind of on your own island. And I think part of being a record producer, I think it's important to talk to people, see real world feedback, like kind of find new bands, meet new people, like see what's working, what isn't working, you know. And I think you lose some of that as you get older if you're not going to shows or, you know, being involved in music as an artist, not just as a producer. So
especially for such youthful genres.
Sure. I mean, hardcore is like a young man's game, you know. I'm in my 40s. It's not, you know, I'll hear stuff and be like, oh, I definitely feel my age when I see some certain bands and stuff like that. But, you know, so it was like, to me, it was like, well, I don't want to lose touch with this stuff. I love this stuff. I want to see what's new, and I want to see if I can get lucky and find the next cool band again. You know, like part of it is like being a little proactive. You can't just kind of sit around and wait for stuff to come to you.
I guess for a few years, though, all the most exciting bands were coming to you.
Yeah, I mean, I still get awesome opportunities, so it's cool. But it's like a lot of stuff that I would attribute to like kind of helping my career move forward was like me going after baby bands, you know. I think a lot of records that were like more crucial and stuff were bands that people hadn't heard of. I was sort of in on a little earlier, you know. And in hardcore, I feel like you do want to get a record or two where it's like, oh, that's their special record, and then kind of trends always shift a little bit. Certain niche style of it falls out of fashion. So it was like,
or they like step up and start working with these massive
or these
after you've done the breakthrough.
Yeah, these bands sort of change and or it goes more commercial, or you know, it's like that's happened many times too. You know, so it's like, yeah, I like kind of being at the tip of the spear for some of that stuff, and I feel like getting out and seeing new bands always helps that. You know, so
is Poison the Well the next record you've done that's coming out?
Poison the Well, yeah. They just announced their record. It'll be out in March. I guess that would be next.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what else I can say or in the timeline. Yeah. There's always that where it's like, oh, what'd you work on? You're like, you'll see. Yeah.
That must have been childhood dream kind of thing? Like, I imagine like young Will being asked what records would you want to like produce, what bands would you want to produce one day, and I can imagine you probably thinking like Converge, Poison the Well, Hatebreed.
Yeah,
I mean, actually getting one of them.
Poison the Well was definitely on that list. Yeah, my AIM screen name was Poison the Will, so that was cool. You know, short-lived,
Nice.
to be fair, but yeah, I mean,
They were the first like metalcore, hardcore band I ever saw.
it was definitely a super important band for me early on. I have worked with them before because I did some remasters a few years back, but I never like had them in the studio, you know. So yeah, this was awesome. It was just like, it was a challenging record to make because I feel like the pressure that they put on themselves is pretty intense. You know, I think it's what makes them good also. But it was like we were trying to set the bar pretty high for them to come back. You know, it's hard to go away for that long and come back and still have the fire also. So it was like, make sure we get this right. You know, everybody was sort of on that page. Like a lot of stuff got thrown out. A lot of stuff, you know, it's tough record to get to the finish line because of the personalities just wanting it to be great.
Yeah.
You know,
If they're that tough on themselves, they must be kind of willing, I guess, to throw out their ideas and not be sticks in the mud about it.
Yeah, it was like very collaborative and not a lot of like ego stuff on in that sense, you know. They have a really good perspective on who they are and what they want to do and where their strengths are and what they feel like they should give to fans and what they want to do for themselves. Like, there's a really good balance on the record. You know, any era of fan of that band will find something on this record, you know, that they can connect to and stuff. So it's cool. We're all super proud of it. So far the response has been good. It's only one song out, but there's great stuff in the pipeline. So if people like that one, I'm like, all right, we're there. You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Fit for an Autopsy was just here like last week. Pretty insane to have both your main bands, country, crossing over.
Yeah, they just left today from Asia, so we were only a few days apart. I think initially we were like on top.
Yeah,
I was like,
I had to move this one.
hey, we should move something. yeah. But yeah, it was cool. I was bummed because there are a lot of friends on that tour right now that weren't home.
Yeah,
when I came through, so, like Brisbane and Sydney and stuff. But pretty surreal. It's funny because we are on really parallel schedules. I actually think the last time we talked was like,
we did both albums
when both albums came out, literally on the same day, which was not planned, and I will try not to do again. It was a lot to do there, but yeah, it's cool. It's like cool that both bands got to have this moment here too, because the shows went great for them.
Has the possibility of the bands touring together ever been discussed?
Kind of weird.
Yeah,
I mean, I love eclectic tours. We do mix bill stuff all the time, especially on the Better Lovers side. Like we try to pull stuff from different genres. So I feel like if it was like all right type, if there was enough variety to bands, like if there was something that made sense with us,
some glue that kind of made it all make sense.
There's like a long shot chance it could happen. Yeah. If it was like a 10-band bill, you know, like some mini festival thing that gets toured or something, I could see it working.
So sort of this year will be coming up on 2 years since the Nothing That Is. You've been on a pretty regular schedule with albums. Have you got another one in the can or in the works, or are you going to take the foot off the gas for a little bit now the band's this many albums in and take some more time with the next one?
Yeah, we got a plan. It will be, I guess the fall will be 2 years, right? Yeah. So we're not too behind. We're not too far behind because there is new music in the future. I think sooner than people probably expect, we'll have some new stuff out, and then I'm going to take a little while on the next record. I'd imagine it's a 2027 thing. You know, I think I do want to spend some time on it.
Yeah. Or when we spoke about it last time, you mentioned that you'd copped a little bit of heat for Red Horizon from some people. How's that played out in the last couple of years? As
expected, a couple people bark online when it first happens, and then it kind of just goes away. You know, we had one altercation in Germany. Somebody came up to our merch table and yelled at our poor merch girl who has
about being terrorists.
Nothing to do with the lyrics in that song or anything like that.
Just there to sell t-shirts.
Yeah, a few complainers, but generally, no real consequence as I figured, because when you're on the right side of history, usually people don't want to get too vocal. So yeah, we seem to get through that pretty much without an issue.
I really, really respect the way that you are politically vocal with your personal presence and with Fit for an Autopsy. There seems to be a lot of bands that have just zipped the hell up right now with everything that's going on in America, and you're kind of like, isn't this like the powers that be that you were like singing about being mad about?
Yeah,
so long.
I've always done it with Fit. He's like from the first record, so to me it was just like that is what you do when you write super aggressive music. Like, it's the point of writing the music for me. In a way, it's like it is supposed to be a release of frustration. Like, that's why I do it. So when I see like, oh, these bands aren't talking about it anymore, it's like, well, how are you even a band? Like how are you even writing music then? What are you writing about? I mean, there's whole parts of this world where songs aren't political or socially conscious and stuff like that, but that isn't the stuff that's ever like really connected with me, and it's never what I've wanted to write musically when I write aggressive music. So when people are like, it's great that you're doing this, I'm like, yeah, that's just what you do. Like with heavy music, I'm surprised that, I guess I'm not surprised. I understand why a lot of bands do. It is like a very polarizing time. If I was ever going to not do it, I would do it right now, because it is so polarizing. It's so easy to just slice a fan base in half, and I could see why people, like, if you're a new band and you're growing and want to be a big band, like maybe you don't want to ruffle feathers on either side and stuff. So it's like, if there ever was a time to not do it, sure, I can see that,
It's kind of unreal. Like, I saw Thrice made a statement the other day, and like all these people like mad at them, and it's like, have you ever like actually listened?
I know, yeah. I mean, there's the fact that I still get kids that give me the like stick to the music thing is crazy. It's like, bro, I've been saying this shit since I had started a band,
Yeah, someone got cranky at me on Instagram the other day for getting too political. They're like, I thought following you would be all about the music, and I'm like, man, have you listened to any of the artists that I'm interested in? Like,
yeah, and I'm not even like, some heavy political activist. I'm not throwing it in people's faces all the time either, Like, if you don't want to get bludgeoned with that stuff, I understand, and I also try to stay in my lane, for lack of a better word, because I'm not a political expert. I'm not like on the fucking front lines of all these causes and stuff. I look at it like, you do what you can with the resources you have. We have a platform to shine some light towards a thing or two that we maybe think are fucked up, or maybe a cause that we think are good. So we just do it when it makes sense to do it, And then some people just don't care. Some people just don't want to hear it or deal with it. And I get that too. There's times where I can feel like I'm starting to shut off from like, why do I even give a fuck? Nothing changes, like you do that dance with yourself sometimes.
Periodically shut down.
Where it's like, dude, I'm not talking about this right now. I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to fucking read about another hospital getting blown up or this or that. It's like, you can get numb to this stuff. And sometimes people are, and sometimes that's your fan. So like, you're going to yell at your fan who's going through it too. So it's like, I understand the restraint also. I just think the DNA of the music that I write is always going to carry that stuff one way or another, and people will just get on board with it or they won't, and it just is what it is. The beautiful thing about being an artist is you get to do what you want if you want to, and people like can't tell you not to. Like, it is your podium. It's the best part. You have it and it can't be taken away from you, and you can use it how you choose. And for better or worse, there's consequences with your actions, but you do at the end of the day get to define your own path, So it's why I just love doing it.
It must be pretty I don't know, it's, as an Australian, it's fucked up to watch, but as an American, being so much closer to it, obviously to your home, seeing people get executed by the state, like
right now
on live stream while you're overseas, like watching that from afar, like it's like the tables have kind of turned almost in like the terms of the fucking violence we've been witnessing over the last couple of years that you've been writing about. Now it's come home.
Yeah, I mean, we just put
I was going to say, that's what you wrote about that, right?
We just put a song out that was like about this like authoritarian overreach, you know, and it was like, yeah, there it is again, you know, and it's crazy because there's been several times where I've been in Australia and something like catastrophic has been home, and I've been here, and it's funny because it does make me appreciate Australia even more. But I was here in 2016, like when Trump got elected, like for a month, for like 5 weeks, I think I was here recording, and anywhere I went, like as soon as people heard my accent, it was like, what's going on? What's going on over there? I'm like, I'm over here. Like I'm trying to get the news and stuff, but I was like, I always return. Not that I hate America or anything, because I don't, and I think there's a lot of positive stuff, but like it is a kind of a mess right now, and I'm gonna return home, and I know as soon as I get off that airplane, I'm gonna be like, fuck, we're here again, you know. But yeah, it's tough right now. I don't really know. I mean, I don't really know where we go next. It is a bit of a scary time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that looks scary. There's a lot of like action. There's a lot of invasion of rights and privacy that's like starting to cross lines that I didn't think we actually were going to, you know? Like you're always like, it always creeps up on you. Everything just inches towards, everything seems to be just inching towards the wrong thing right now. And yeah, now it's like there's a few more major events that seem to be accelerating it. So I don't know. Crazy time.
That song, It Comes For You, that like seems to have been received really, really well. Like people just love how heavy and just it's really intense.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I sometimes like. That's just what comes out.
Yeah.
What you need to say, and you got to say it in that kind of way. That I didn't feel like writing a moody song to get that point out, you know. And I think it's a beauty of like sort of caring about your music and caring about what's happening in the world is you get to put that together in packages that really express how you feel. That's a pissed off song. It's a fast, not pleasant, not melodic journey, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I think, yeah, it's what it called for.
So you're talking about spending a bunch of time making records in Australia and stuff. You've really, Australia's like been quite instrumental in your career.
Australia's been great, yeah.
What are the first like record or two, a couple of records that come to mind when you're thinking about like Australian albums that, you know, defined you in your career?
I'm trying to remember what came first. Obviously, like, I think the Thyar's Murder and the North Lane stuff that I did early on really were the sort of set precedents for like what I could do. You know, I know that got me on a lot of people's radars, and those early productions definitely stood out where I would get a lot of calls. I get a lot of bands that were interested in whatever that was, you know. And I think it was cool as like for like both of those bands early in their careers, for the like kind of rise of them to be on board with that and have unique productions for them and stuff. It definitely led to some big stuff over here too. You know, I feel like the Thy Art records are probably why I got in the room with the Amity Affliction. You know, I mean, I would say I know they are because it's where the connections came from. It's a pretty close family over there with everyone, and that got me through the door with them. And I wanted to make a lot of records with them too. And yeah, I mean, it's helped me all over the world. I love Australia.
Do you listen back to those early records ever, or are you kind of like once you've done with your work, it's memory hold?
I'm going through a weird period right now because I'm making less records where I'm like, and then some of the bands I've worked with are obviously like doing other things and stuff where like it just honestly where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to I want to do a better job. You know, it's like sometimes I'm like, did I peak? Like, I'm not sure, you know? And it's like, I always carry like self-doubt. I always go back, like, so I do go back to old records and just like creep around from time to time just to see what we did.
Do you listen back and go, I could have done that better, or I hate that part?
It's always too critical for me. Like it's all like listening to music has become challenging over the years because you're so hypercritical of production elements and songwriting choices and mixed things and
hard to just switch off and enjoy.
It's hard. And some of the stuff I like a lot of the music I like is so not production dependent.
Yeah.
It's like power violence bands and like fucked up indie bands. And, we were talking about crippling alcoholism. Like, that record sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's not like, it's an interesting production, but that's not like, when I listen to that, I'm not nitpicking what I'm hearing. I'm just hearing a vibe that's nuts, and I'm enjoying it.
I reckon the production on those records is pretty good.
It is, because it's like, it's a bizarre thing, but it's like, it isn't the thing you overanalyze. It's just like giving you feeling. To me, it's like giving me feelings, which
you
is cool.
You don't have like metalcore brain.
I'm not like, the one, it's like, there's like the critical thinking elements that come into play when I'm like in these like metalcore worlds and stuff. It's like, it's different. It's a different energy. And I feel like with bands like that, you have more room to explore that stuff anyway. The indie world is fantastic. I wish I could, like, I've never really gotten my share of like indie records. I sort of just got pigeonholed as like the heavy guy, but like, there's so much.
Are
like,
you going to try and seek some different opportunities out?
I've tried bands just like see the catalog and get scared away, so I would like to,
So you got to do a heavy guys indie side project to break into that world,
always,
maybe?
Yeah. I've worked with like some, I'll call them softer bands, but they're always calling, because they want it. It's like, I'm doing the soft bands, like heavier song. Like that's usually where it lands and stuff. So I like, yes. So to answer your question, I do go back and see what I've done, because I'm very critical of myself. And I want to make sure I'm improving, and I just don't want to be worse. So it's always like a check on where I've been and what I've done. And, but I do sentimentally really enjoy some songs on some of these early North Lane and Die Hard, Amity records and stuff, because it was just a great time in my life for me anyway. I loved being over here. I loved working with all those people. And it's nice to go back and be like, this was cool,
Is there one record that you would be able to single out as like a crown jewel for you if you had to pick like a favorite? I know it's probably a tough question, but...
It's tough. I think, I know the first... Hate from Die Hard and like the first North Lane record that I did when they came over, we're both like, we had a really good time. Both records like blew up for those bands. It was like my first time in the studio with all those, with both of them. So that was really, both of those experiences were really great. I don't have like a favorite record. It's like asking you what your favorite kid is.
It's almost rude of me to ask.
I get that question, and I'm like, I can point to like a lot of records where there's reasons that I had a good experience, or like where I value the people that were in the band, or like the talent that was in a particular band. Like, I can always give you those answers, but I don't have like, this is the best one I did. It to me is like they're all special in their own way. They're all God's special little flowers.
So Better Lovers, to me, it's like, with my limited kind of oversight or interaction with the band so far, you kind of seem like the sane piece of glue in the middle of a whole bunch of insane people.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's funny because like the people that know me fairly well know that I'm pretty insane, and when they realize that I'm probably the most sane one, they're like, Jesus Christ.
You got your work cut out for you there.
Yeah. No, it's like, it's a functioning crazy for sure. It's crazy right now. It's crazier than it normally is, because we've been running it pretty hard,
Stir crazy.
Yeah, it's just a lot of shows, a lot of touring this year, and a lot of travel, and everyone's like, cooked isn't the word, because we're playing good and like we're doing the thing, but it's like we've done a lot. Everyone's just heads, I think, a little spun up. So the break's going to be great for this band. But yeah, I probably am the least insane one in the band. Yeah. I'm proud of that. I'll take that. Yeah.
Well, how much of the material have you actually written?
It's super collaborative.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we do.
So there's not like Will songs and Jordan songs?
There are for sure, like, because he'll start stuff and I'll start stuff independently. and then we'll always just get together. Sometimes he'll come up with something and finish one of my songs, or vice versa. Or we do a lot where we'll just like put stuff together in the studio, like a band should anyway, where it's like very collaborative, you know. The full length, like, you know, a lot of the songs that are like a lot of what I do, because I know what Jordan writes, is like I try to fill in the holes of like, what's another dynamic that we could have and stuff. A big thing I'm enjoying with this band is like trying stuff that I don't normally get to do. Like this is the first time I've written this style of music in a band setting, and it wasn't just as a producer or co-writer with some other band, you know?
So you kind of built that foundation through making Every Time I Die records?
Yeah, I'm sure, like a little bit of that and everything that's like adjacent to that world, and you know, all the bands that we grew up listening to that are of this kind of mathy, chaotic hardcore stuff.
And you grew up listening to Dillinger and Every Time I Die, right?
Yeah,
like
totally.
How much younger are you than the rest of the guys?
I'm only like a couple years probably. I think I'm maybe 2 or 3 years behind like them. So I was in bands at the time that they were in bands. I was just a much shittier band, you know, but yeah, like I would open for them with my crappy local bands and stuff from time to time. But yeah, I think like over time I've realized like part of what I'm enjoying about doing this band is like I can try new things, you know. I have talented people in this band, and it's like if I want to write a song that's a little off center from what we normally do, we could take more risks and stuff, and it's been fun to explore that, you know.
So you guys are diving into another record soon?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we're going to go away for a minute. I think we want to hit the reset button for a second. We don't have to rush this next record. We're already like, we're doing a lot. We're doing more than maybe I even thought we would be doing at this point, you know? So it's like, I want to get this very, very right, you know? I think we have a lot of stuff that we've already written, which is cool. So we have like a good foundation, and then we're going to kick some more ideas around and then just chip away at it until we're ready, you know?
And what about End? Is that project still doing anything?
Yeah, we had like a good year off because everyone was so busy. You know, Matt's doing the Acacia Strain now. Brendan Counterparts is going great. I'm on tour. Like, we've all just been on tour. And Greg's been at the studio making records constantly. So it was like a really hard year to even attempt to do much. You know, we put a couple shows. I was like, yeah, maybe we did like 1 or 2 shows. That might have been it for the year, you know. But when we did them, we were like, okay, this is still fun. Like, we got to figure this out, you know. So we do have a plan for this year, which will be nice because I'm kind of itchy to do it again also. So there's new stuff in the works, and I'm sure shit will start to surface this year.
What was your favorite record from last year as a fan? Like, not one that you had nothing to do with. That, like, what's the music that got you excited?
Trying to think, what's my favorite? I mean, I got very into Chat Pile. So, like, Cool World isn't a record from last year, but I was just all about it.
Clicked for you last year?
Yeah. I did a lot of Chat Pile last year. That was probably, as like far as like a newer band, that was probably one of my most listened to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chat Pile still hasn't really clicked for me. I see why people like
really?
it, but yeah.
Oh, I thought that would be up your alley.
Because people always like compare Crippling Alcoholism and Chat Pile, and
no, it's very different. I feel
I'm
like
obsessed with Crippling Alcoholism, but Chat Pile is yet to click in my head.
There's like a simplicity and like there's like a perfect loop that Chat Pile will do with their songs for me, where I'm like, it's all vibe. They record stuff themselves, like. Yeah, they just nail a certain thing for me in my brain where I'm like, this is cool. This is just music I want to hear now. And I could tell it comes from this world and it like heavy music or metal or hardcore or whatever, but it has its own thing. And yeah, I don't know. Just really into the band right now.
And you're not managing Fit anymore, are you?
No, I'm not.
When did you hand the reins over?
When Better Ever started. Because I was already getting maxed out with, I'm like trying to become good at knowing when that's too much, you're doing too much kind of thing, you know?
Something I'm trying to get my head around at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, what are you doing today? You're doing a podcast. You booked a show. You're playing a show.
Set.
Yeah,
it's too much.
You sound like me. Yeah, it's awesome. But I've been there where I've been like, fuck, I might be overworking myself, you know. And I loved managing Fit because it was like it was efficient. It was awesome. We did what we wanted all the time, you know. Not that we don't now. We still kind of do, but it was like where we were just on a course in a very cool way. It was all internalized and it was efficient, you know, and the band was growing slowly, the right way that I thought a band like Fit should grow, where we're not like a hypey band.
Yeah, you never had that.
No, we were never gonna. Yeah. I never wanted to. I didn't want to play any of those games. There was so much shit we didn't want to do, or we would just say no to. It's like, I don't care if it's good for the band. We're not gonna do it. You know, like there's other reasons not to do certain things, and it was slow growing correctly for me. You know, like I felt good about it. Everyone was comfortable in making money and stuff, and then it's like kind of hit a point where it was like, this is for sure a job, like where the ceiling is on what I can do and the manpower it'll take to get it over that. Now I was like, there are people more equipped than just little old me to manage the band by myself, you know? And so when Better Lover started, I was like, this is going to be a lot of work. We have management too, but it was like, I just know what doing a band from scratch is like, you know. This is my third project where it's like, I don't have time to do all this, you know. So I felt like a good time to move Fit over to like a proper management company and stuff, and it's been great. You know, we're working with 5B now, and
the big dogs.
They're cool. Yeah, Brad's our guy, and Adam Foster, and everyone's been great over there. It's awesome. You know, I could see why they have the successes that they do and stuff. You know, but yeah, great working relationship now, and I feel like they've helped open some doors for us, and band's bigger than they were when I let go, so I see that as progress, you know. But yeah, it's great. I feel like it was the right call at the time.
Yeah. What opportunities has the band got from taking that leap that you wouldn't have been able to wrangle, perhaps?
It's hard to quantize all of it, but I feel like, you know, the stuff that I would kick and scream about, I feel like it adds a little more weight when they come in with the history and the clients that they have, work with these people. You know, it's not that big of a world if you're booking a festival or you're the record label or you're this. It's the same pile of people that seem to be, that have worked together for all these years, you know? And I feel like you have people that are indebted to each other, and there's just more behind the scenes stuff where it's like, I don't want to make this guy mad, just give him what he wants, because we work with him all the time on these other things and this and that. So it's like the weight of the bigger artists and trying to appease these managers and keep them happy. I do feel like it works in our favor a little bit, you know. I could start to see the squeeze on people like, oh, that's cool. I couldn't do that. They can do that. I can't do that, you know. So it's useful. Plus they're just great at like just day-to-day stuff and keeping us organized, and, you know, it's great. It's great to have like a soundboard and make sure we are, you know, just hear some opinions that aren't ours are good at this point, you know.
Yeah, and I guess you've got that, you know, that muscle, that weight behind you as well. But at the same time, it seems like it's kind of happened in tandem with other organic sort of things, like Lamb of God being a 5B band, and then they seem like genuinely fans and friends of Fit.
It has worked great in tandem because it was like, well, we could probably see some opportunities with them if we're also working with their people. It's like, well, at this point, why wouldn't we? You know, and that's true. It did work, you know. So we have a whole bunch. We have a massive tour with them in the States, a whole bunch of European shows with them. Like we announced Puerto Rico with them, you know. So it's like, it's cool. We've definitely gotten, I feel like it's been easier on that road for sure. Plus those guys, I mean, I think they're just awesome. Cool dudes, get along. You know, they've been great to Fit anytime we've crossed paths with them. So it's, it's cool. Good camp, you know.
You ever hit them up to produce a record, or are they pretty set in their ways?
I don't like being poachy. Like, I know when guys have like, and like they work with Josh, who's like I like Josh. Like we've known each other for a long time, and it would be weird of me to be like, don't work with him. You know, like I've never really been poachy with guys who have their guy, you know. If they want to call, like, it's a conversation, but it's like, I can't.
I'm not going to go after it.
No, it's like, I know what that relationship is. And I know what it would be like to me if somebody, it's like, I try not to do that.
Does it ever, like, sting when bands that you've built up jump to a different producer?
Yes and no. I mean, you feel like, I've done a lot of records where like the band's like really broke out and then all of a sudden they're somewhere else. And I'm starting to understand why that is too from sometimes, but it's like, at the end of the day, like it's cool to do other things. I don't own any particular band or anything like that. It's definitely not like that. And I'm just happy to like be on the good trajectory for a lot of these bands, I think like, sometimes it comes back around too, which is cool, but in the future, it's like, as long as I'm like just doing stuff that I enjoy and bands are going the right way, like that's cool. I'm happy with that. It's a good job, for me. And I think like if bands want to go to a different level or try a different thing or, there's people that do things that differently from me where it's like, cool, maybe that works sometimes, sometimes it doesn't work. So, and then sometimes it works,
What are some of your favorite record producers as a music listener?
For extreme music, Kurt's my favorite guy.
Yeah.
He's always been. Yeah, I don't think it's like a secret or anything like that. It's just he makes the records of all the bands I like. And we're, over the years, we've become friends too. And it's funny because I'll be like, I want to do, I'm jealous of this shit too, And he's like, oh, I don't know. I think some of the shit you do is cool. I'd want to do that. And I'm like, no, your pile is cooler, But
you should do a trade one day.
Yeah, I know. Like, I want to work with like
you get to do a Converge record. He does like an End record.
Dude, we do. I want to work with him. We've tried to. We've both said like we got to figure something out. So at some point we got to figure something out. But I don't want to. I don't think I want to punish other producers by recording me. Like I feel like I would be a difficult guy to record. Like because you'd
have too much of a backseat driving element.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could take myself out. And then I have these dudes who are like my it's like this guy's my friend. I don't want to put him through it. like I don't know if I can let go or not. It's tricky. I think at some point I should become more collaborative with my art because I've never really tried it. I just have a hard time letting it go. Where I feel like I'm going to be a nuisance to somebody.
Like, were you ever collaborative with Randy?
Yeah, me and Randy have like done a couple like co-production things and done
he was
some
like
tag teams.
your protege, right?
Yeah. He kind of came up under me as an assistant and was like main engineer. And there were a lot of records where a lot of stuff would come in and we knew the band is cool and we want to do it, but I already had something else. So I was like, hey, I can do pre-production or I could oversee it a little, but then Randy's your guy, And then a lot of that turned into Randy just being the guy for those bands.
Like Acacia Strain kind of moved on.
Yeah, Acacia, like Kubakan, like Gideon stuff. Like a lot of it was like Randy was super hands-on, and then it turned into like that's Randy's thing, you know,
nice.
Which is awesome because he's super talented too. Like he's his own guy. You know what I mean? Like he's like found his own style and stuff in this world and. He's great for the thing he does with all of those bands. He's got it down, So it's like it's great. It's awesome for him,
Sweet.
Yeah. He's it's been like a year. We haven't done like a full. Hey, let's both go crazy on this band in a minute, but it'd be fun to do it. I should collaborate more. Yeah, like I was saying. I like at some point I'll just be like, oh, let's just try it. Let's just try this, So, but yeah, Randy's the best. It's awesome.
So how many records do you actually have on the books for the rest of the year?
February through September, I'm pretty much recording every day at the moment. So, and I think because we have a big break, we won't be touring anytime soon. Anything I'm doing with End is looking like it's going to be probably later in the year. So, as soon as I get home. I'm kind of back to work here, so it's good. It's awesome. The stuff I have coming up, I'm super stoked on.
You must never get bored.
No, I don't really get bored because I work a lot when I'm home. I get like scrambly and antsy when I'm not, doing anything either. Like, I'll always find something to do.
How do you unwind from all of this? Never?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just heavy music 24/7?
Yeah, no, I could be a sit on the couch guy and watch TV for a little bit. You know, I've like, my wife works from home now, so like we've been doing a slightly better job at like.
What does she do?
She works at Gold Theory Management Company.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was at Sony for a long time with the Orchard on like the distribution side, and she's been with Gold Theory for like about a year now. But they let her work from home, which is awesome.
Industry power couple.
Industry power couple, man.
Nice.
But it's nice because I see her every day, so like we can hang out at night now, which is cool, you know. So yeah, I could be sit on the couch guy for a little while, then I start getting crazy. Then the spiders
Yeah, I
start
think
coming in, and I got to do something.
I think last time we spoke, you were like, "I'm going to sit on the couch for the next 2 weeks," and I haven't done that in like 6 months.
I absolutely didn't do that.
Yeah.
I did get my wisdom teeth pulled out in January, which was like a forced break because like you have to sit around, you know, like you don't want to work right after that happened. So, but I got like a week of nothingness, which is cool. I got COVID. That was a week of nothingness. That was cool too.
How'd you get that? Just from touring?
Yeah, just like in 2020. I'm just trying to think of like all the breaks I've had that were extended. But
right.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to. I actually just want to get back to work, so I think it's gonna be cool. The stuff that I have coming up, I'm excited about, and feel like I've been away from it enough now where I'm like, all right, it's time
ready to go back.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool
for a while.
Yeah.
Sick, man. Well, I'm out of questions. Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
What do I want to say? Australia's awesome. These shows have been awesome. This podcast was awesome. Generally pretty good, man.
Thanks, Will.
Everything's cool, man. Appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah, appreciate you chatting.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks for listening to Music Is My Life. This podcast is self-produced by me, Lachlan Watt. The theme song was written by TJ Cowgill and Sam Seljuki, with vocals from yours truly. The logo and visuals were designed by Patrick Galvin at Hollowbone Studio. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you could give the podcast a like, follow, subscribe, leave some kind of rating or comment, or even share it with your friends. If you want to stay up to date with what I am doing and follow my gradual descent into madness, you can follow me on Instagram at Lachlan Watt. Be well, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Cheers.